talking about. You've got some idea of what you want to achieve and why you want to achieve it. So you're looking for it and not finding it, and then you're messing up the readiness for what you're ready for. Esther sat here this morning for a little while. She came a little early and she could hear you in the room. And she was reaching for a sound that she could focus on. And she said to herself, I think I'll just focus upon this sound of joy, because you were noisy and laughing. You were laughing and obnoxious. It sounded like music, you see. And so she wasn't looking for silence. She was just looking for something good feeling to focus upon. Yeah. That's the answer, always the answer. Ready to be ready. And so that is the ultimate getting ready to be ready. Because if you will spend a few minutes in the morning, 15 is enough, and it might take you 14 to get there. But once you get there, now you're ready to be ready, which means that your next moment in time is going to be more likely that you will find things of pleasure there. And your next moment, if we could convince you that this conversation isn't about preparing you so that you can be invincible, or preparing you so that you can create anything, or so that you can be or do or have anything. That's not what this conversation is about. This conversation is about you allowing yourself to be ready for what's raining down around you that you often can't see. Readiness for timing, readiness for clarity, readiness for the right thing to flow from you or the right thing to come to you. It's turning you into, over a little bit of time, a cooperative component to your own desires. You cannot be a cooperative component to your own desires if you are harboring any ill will toward anyone or to yourself, you see. So sometimes you have to kind of start at the very beginning, and that's all right, because the very beginning is no thought. And no thought then will lead to something that feels a little better, and something that feels a little better, and something that feels a little better. And then when you do, and you will, stumble onto a circumstance or an event or even a thought in your own mind that is not harmonic, which is not in harmony with your inner being, it's going to feel awkward to you. And in its awkwardness, you can then choose. This thought which doesn't feel so good, which is very small, really, in comparison to some thoughts that I've thought, because I've meditated, even these thoughts really can't get a lot of momentum going. And then before you know it, you have bridged every belief into one that serves you. The belief that you held that you weren't good enough has morphed into one that of course you are. The belief that you held that life is going to be hard for you has morphed into it's not difficult to be ready for something good to flow. The belief that you've held that, this is good and this is good enough, but the other shoe will drop, will morph into, contrast serves me so well, and I always find what I'm looking for. Before you know it, you will just feel well-being. You will find such well-being that you will be prepared for a world in upheaval. And that's such a nice thing, because your world, if you look around enough, is always in upheaval. Alignment is what brings clarity out of chaos. And chaos is a good thing, not a bad thing, because chaos is diversity. And diversity means choices. So you don't want to get rid of the diversity or the choices. You want to get better at focusing, you see. And so, when you're good at focusing, then the world and the components of the world can be doing all the things that they're doing. And you just ride steadily through it, seeing the positive aspects there and there and there, finding positive aspects in the most unexpected places. And then the more consistent you are at it, the greater your connection, the steadier your connection, the more satellite dish-like you are beaming in the signal of well-being, so that others who haven't figured this out yet can be uplifted for a moment by your calm, by your clarity, by your acknowledgement of well-being, by your unwillingness to rant and rave and panic over whatever it is. You see, life is supposed to feel good for you. But these things are always true. You will never feel good if you don't have desires that you are allowing right now. You will never feel good holding a desire that you're not allowing. So how do you not disallow? By focusing on something that doesn't hold the negative framework. You are better in no thought than in trying to bring a negative thought to a positive thought. Helpful?
Yes.
We are appreciating this conversation about meditation. It's a